This episode is brought to you by Twizzlers. Long day, late night, feeling a little bored? Twizzlers is the ultimate sidekick for any moment of the day, no matter what kind of day you're having. The perfect level of sweet and a fun excuse to sit back and relax. Unwind with Twizzlers. To buy now, visit Hersheyland.com/Twizzlers.
There's no better feeling than a personal win, and the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This is the TJ Show, and saying hello to Frank in Albany, New York. What's up, Frank?
What's going on?
Tell me something. What is the most exciting part of your life right now?
Work.
Work. Okay, that's good. I'm interested. When someone says work, it must mean you love what you do. Tell me what you do.
Absolutely.
What kind of work are you in?
I do grounds maintenance at a golf course.
Awesome.
Nice. You see, Kenny loves it.
Yeah, that's a great job.
Yeah, tell me.
I figured he would love it.
Tell me why you like that so much. What is it that you love about that job?
I like the outdoors. I like wildlife. I like scenery. I like cutting grass. It's just my thing. I like to be precise with what I do, and that's part of this place is being precise with cuts. And, today we're mowing fairways and we're on our way.
Yeah, I love that. I love that passion.
Great.
It sounds like you have a passion for excellence in whatever you're doing.
Absolutely. And I've been listening to you the past week about optimism, man. So I've been wanting to call you for like a month now, and I said, you know what? Today I'm feeling optimistic, and I'm about to call.
Nice. Yeah, Frank, sometimes when you get a random phone number from a bunch of people you listen to on the radio, you're like, should I really call that phone number? And look, you were brave enough to do it. I love it. I'm so happy that you called.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
And keep up the great work. I don't know if you've noticed this, and I don't know how...
You guys, too.
But I was going to say, I don't know how long you've been doing what you're doing. It sounds like you've been doing it for a while. But have you noticed how many people default to cutting corners with their work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Don't they tend to get sifted out of the industry, or someone always either outcompetes them, out-hustles them, or outworks them?
Oh, well, absolutely. That's in any field.
Exactly. And, it's so easy to find people who complain about their jobs. They can't stand what they do. I always feel like it's either they're in the wrong line of work, it wasn't what they were built to do, or they're cutting corners and everyone else is doing a better job, so they never get that promotion that they think they're going to get.
Well, my thing is I do what I love. So if you love what you do, then keep on doing it. If you don't like what you're doing and you're grumpy and you complain, then it's time to move on.
And that's possible really at any age. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Hey, Frank, I have a golf question for you. Groundskeepers, they're the ones responsible for choosing where the hole goes on the green.
Is that true?
Absolutely.
Now, Frank, sometimes the hole is in a spot where it's almost impossible to make a putt, and I've heard people say, oh, the groundskeeper must have had a bad day. Is there any truth to where you put the pin?
No. You change the pin because it's always a challenge. It's part of golf. It's a challenge. It's part of any sport. It's a challenge.
Yeah, of course. But do you ever do it just to mess with the golfers, put it at a particularly difficult spot?
Well, we have what we call an impossible pin day, and we do tricky things.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fun.
Well, Frank, listen, it's so nice to meet you. You're a friend of the show now. You call us anytime, and thank you for turning your radio on today. We're so happy to have you here.
Absolutely. Thank you for keeping the radio on.
Oh, thanks, Frank.
We're having a great time here. You have an amazing day, Frank.
Just wanted to tell you guys you're great, man. I've been listening for 3 months now. I just wanted to say Happy Father's Day to all them dads out there.
Ah, well, thank you so much for all that, Frank.
Thanks for the love, Frank.
You too. Love you. Later.
Love you.
Love you.
Throughout this week, we've been hearing about some of the quirks that are going on behind closed doors in our homes. It started with producer Kenny, who just moved in with his girlfriend after being with her for a year. You called her out on some of her stuff, and then she, rightfully so, called you out on some of your stuff.
Sure.
And now, J-Bo, you're jumping into the ring.
Yeah, I was curious to know if my husband Archie, if he was willing to state some of my quirks.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have any?
Oh, yeah. I
know you do. Okay, so you know what you're getting into here.
Yeah.
Let's hear what Archie has to say.
So I was just curious, what is a quirk of mine?
And by the way, Archie is active in the U.S. military. He's currently, in a training right now.
Yeah.
But he still has time to answer you.
That you've noticed. Just be honest, no holding back.
Let's start off with this one. And I told you before you didn't notice it, where you just hum. And it sounds like a little like Beethoven's Für Elise. And it's wild because it's like, you do it a lot. You didn't notice until I said something. I was just like, sitting there listening to you one day, you were going, and I'm like...
Are you a hummer?
Apparently, I provide my own hold music when I'm doing something.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, when I'm looking for something, I'll start, or like if I'm doing anything, I start humming. I didn't know that.
And I'm like, did you notice you do that? And of course, you were kind of like thrown off. I'm like, yeah, you do it all the time. That's one. Another one is you have this thing where you give these, at first it seemed like very motherly reminders. If I'm about to go to sleep, you're like, lock your doors. Or if I'm about to go drive somewhere and be like, okay, stay off phones, be safe. First I thought it was like me, and I was like, why is she constantly giving these motherly reminders? But
oh, so at first, when you guys were first together, you just kept, hey, make sure you lock the door. And he took that in a weird way.
Yeah, he did.
It's actually to everyone. Kind of remove the whole motherly marker and then go more closer to you just care. You cannot do it towards loved ones at all.
I think it's so cool. You guys talked about it.
Yeah.
And then what he discovered, rather than being offended or feeling like, why doesn't she trust me? Or what does she think? He realized this is just something you do to the people that you love and for the people that you love.
Yeah, and that I care about them.
And like, he's touched by that. Communication.
That's a very mature thing, because I would be annoyed by me. You know what I mean?
All the time. So I think that's a quirk that you probably didn't notice about yourself, or maybe you do. But yeah, that's one right there. Were
you guys always communicating this well in your relationship, or was that over time?
That was over time. We communicate more, at least we try to, because we are living in different states. And we know that we aren't doing a great job at it when we're arguing more. So when we start to argue a bit more, we're like, oh, we haven't really been communicating. And then we'll bring it back to the forefront. We'll start to continue to work on communication. And then the arguments disappear.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Just from talking to one another and sharing your feelings, or like even in this great example where it's so easy to have this hornet's nest. That's how I picture it. Like this hornet's nest inside of us that is just filled with a fence, and it just gets louder. And it's all these assumptions and these stories we make up. And then in your words, imagine like shooting the hornet's nest with all this poison. That poison is communication.
Yeah.
And then it just stops. It evaporates. And you hear the fruit of that. Like there's such kindness between you two, and you really hear each other. And I love that about you guys.
Yeah, it goes a long way when you're able to communicate your feelings or your perspective on something. Because I remember a while ago, he brought that up to me about the whole motherly thing. He's like, I've gotten this far in life without, someone telling me what to do. And I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to be your mom. Clearly don't want to do that. I'm your wife. And this is my way of caring for somebody, So I've tried to pull back on it, but it's still me. I do care.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
T-Bo, I don't really want to do this. Can you back me up on this one?
No, I don't know, TJ. What is it?
Producer Kenny handed me a huge collection of dad jokes because it's Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of dad jokes because I feel like it requires a lot of effort. Like when a dad makes a dad joke to me, I know I have to react like, oh, that's a good one. And I don't like that.
I think they're only funny when dads say them.
I don't make dad jokes. At least I don't think I do.
Yes, you do. You don't. It's so bad that you don't even realize it when you do it.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm dead serious.
What was the last dad joke I made?
Are you kidding me?
Come on.
I have to go back to listen to audio files. I don't keep track and write them down. I just know that when you make them, I go, ugh, that was a dad joke.
I do have 3 little girls. They like this kind of stuff, so I do it for them. And if it's bleeding into our space here, I'm sorry. Because that is not my intention. I don't want to be dad joke guy.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, they're funny sometimes.
All right, good. So then you don't want to hear this list.
No, go for it.
Heather, you appreciate great jokes. You don't want to hear a dad joke list in honor of Father's Day weekend.
Oh, no, I love a good dad joke. Let's go.
Yeah, you're a dad with the list of jokes. Tell them.
And then you guys are forcing me into this.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't want to be dad joke guy. All right, I'll just read a few.
Some good music, though. There you go.
Oh, my goodness. Where are you guys? I feel taken advantage of right now.
Yeah. Come on, Dad.
If you're driving past a farm, you say, hey, look, a flock of cows. And then you wait for someone to correct you. It's a herd of cows. And then the punchline is, of course I've heard of cows. There's a flock of them over there.
This is painful.
I mean, right? Doesn't that hurt?
You kind of messed that one up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's painful.
All right.
Oh, what's another one?
This is another one dads can use. Do you want to hear a joke about pizza? Never mind, it's too cheesy.
Okay.
See,
yeah.
I hate that. It's not. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
You
inside.
have to do it in like the dad voice. You're doing it so like monotone.
There are only 2 things I don't eat for breakfast: lunch and dinner.
You laughed at that.
That is funny. That is a funny one. Okay, I'll give him that one. How much does it cost to swim with sharks? Oh boy, I know where this is going. An arm and a leg.
Wow.
All right, see, this is if you're gonna tell dad jokes, I guess these are really good.
Yeah. Now tell them like you tell the other dad jokes on the show.
No, I don't tell dad jokes.
Okay.
Okay, here's another one. I told a bad chemistry joke once. I got no reaction.
See, you can't help but laugh.
Okay, it is kind of funny. All right.
It's funny.
I was going into this hating it, and now I'm kind of. Maybe it's because I am a dad. I don't know.
Dad.
Why shouldn't you tell jokes to a duck? Because they'll quack up?
The quack.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get that.
That's all right.
Went to buy a pair of camouflage pants, but I couldn't find any. Oh yeah, I know a guy
I've
who would
heard that
definitely
one.
who would tell that one.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
What do lawyers wear to work? Lawsuits?
Of course.
Of course they do. Did you hear about the woman who couldn't stop collecting magazines? Oh yeah, she had issues. Yeah. Okay. Why shouldn't you play poker in the jungle? Oh man, come on. This has got to be the last one. Too many cheetahs.
Too many cheetahs.
Okay, listen, this was not my idea.
Cheetahs.
This was not my idea.
Yo.
I'm not a fan of dad jokes. There are better jokes out there, but dads love these things. I'm just not there yet.
Yes, you are. You keep saying that, but you tell them just on the fly without even noticing it.
Okay, well then, if it's seeped into my life, it's because that's what happens when you hang
have
around other
kids,
dads.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, producer Heather.
I've had a joke I've been itching to tell all week in honor of Father's Day. What do you call a chicken looking at lettuce?
Chicken looking at lettuce. What?
A chicken sees a salad.
All right, throw it on the list.
Heather's clapping for herself.
Happy Father's Day
listen,
to all of our
if
dad
no one
joking dads.
encourages you, encourage yourself.
This is the TJ Show. This edition of the TJ Show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Yeah, the year is going by quite quickly.
Bro, I blinked and it's gone.
Halfway there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's hard to take inventory on how we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the ways to truly assess our progress is by talking to someone else about it. Therapists have made me realize, actually, maybe I'm further along than I think. Because our mind can play tricks on us.
That's right.
And we've got to talk through this kind of a thing. Whether you're celebrating big wins, small wins, whatever it is, knowing that you're winning or if you're not, how to change that is so valuable.
A win is a win, and therapy is a win.
I agree with you. If you've ever considered it, go to betterhelp.com/TJ. That's betterhelp.com/TJ. You fill out the questionnaire, you get linked up with a licensed therapist. If for some reason it's not a fit, you can switch therapists anytime, no additional fee. Take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/TJ today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/TJ. betterhelp.com/TJ. This edition of the TJ Show is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Oh, they make Father's Day so easy.
Yes.
But still keep up the quality of the Father's Day gift.
That's
I'll
right.
give you a story about my dad, how much he loves steak. So we were out at my daughter Charlie's recital, and it was like 8 o'clock at night. The thing finishes up, and he goes, "Hey, T, where can I get a good steak?" I'm like, "Dad, it's nighttime. We got to get the kids ready for bed." "Oh, no, it's fine." But if I had an Omaha steak in the refrigerator, it would have been easy.
That's the solution to the problem.
So for Father's Day, you want to get the right gift for your dad, right? It's right around the corner. Do it now. The Father's Day experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to put a smile on Dad's face this summer. Hand-selected gift packages starting at just $89. All you got to do is go to omahasteaks.com, use the promo code TJ at checkout for an additional discount when you shop gourmet gift packages for Father's Day. Go to omahasteaks.com and use the promo code TJ to get some exclusive savings. Omaha Steaks, they know great steaks, and dads love steaks. This is the TJ Show, and it's Friday, June 14th, 2024. Hi, J-Bo.
What's up, TJ?
I'm doing well. Things are good. Kenneth. Hi, Kenny.
Hey now, TJ.
Is your day off to a good start?
Yeah, I would say so.
I know you were out late last night.
Yeah, Allison and my girlfriend, went to go see Inside Out 2.
Look at this, the first guy to see it.
Yeah, I doubt he's the first guy to see it.
Yeah, there were
Well,
several
in-
others in the theater.
in
I
this
do
room.
want to see that movie as well.
I know, I do too. I'm always cautious when there's a movie I want to see. How many questions do I ask about it? Well, let's start with the theater. Was it full on a Thursday night?
I would say half full because
Okay.
I'm an optimist.
See, this is going to be the biggest movie of the weekend. This is the big Pixar movie. Inside Out 1 was a smash hit. We're going to assume the same thing's going to happen here, but they now release movies a day before they actually come out.
Yeah, and there are plenty of showings too. Like I think it was showing every half hour to 45 minutes at the theater I went to. It had standard and 3D versions. So
Which one did you see?
I saw the standard.
Nice.
I'm surprised that it had showing every like half hour because it is an animated film, which is more targeted towards kids. I would doubt there's like kids there watching a movie at 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I just figured that, if my theater was half full, I bet you some of the other theaters were similar or even more full.
Was it good?
I really liked it.
Oh, yeah,
That's
there
awesome.
you go. That's cool.
Yeah, Allison really liked it too. She said she liked it better than the first one, and I tend to agree with her. I think the first one had some slow moments where this one was kind of action-packed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know what I like about it? I don't know how accurate it is. I just assume it's accurate, but they show you through cartoons how we think.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting the way they broke that all down in the first movie. I know my kids really loved it.
I know when I walked away from watching the first movie, I'm like, that's why I feel the way I feel. Even as an adult, I was like, wow, I learned something here.
Yeah, and I don't know how accurate it is. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But I think it seems good to me.
It seems pretty accurate, and this one involves Riley, the main character, going through puberty and some new emotions enter the mind.
Oh, I'm going through that right now.
Yeah, till this
Cool.
day.
No, I guess I can relate to that.
And of course, anxiety is the big one, and I deal with some anxiety. My girlfriend Allison deals with some anxiety, and we definitely related to the movie.
Were you guys sobbing?
I definitely welled up. I look over to the left at one point, and Allison has tears streaming from her face.
That's fair. How do you talk to her? Okay, I'm going to pretend to be your girlfriend, and you talk to me and comfort me, okay?
Oh, what's the matter, baby? Don't cry. It's okay, baby.
Why do you sound like a dog, TJ?
I'm just pretending to be Allison crying.
She doesn't sound like that.
Come here.
Aw,
Come here, TJ. Let me hug you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Oh, that's close to my
weird.
arms.
Oh, you're such a good man, Kenny. You
Thank
really,
you.
know how to
Aside
comfort.
from the baby voice, though, that baby voice, you can do away with that.
Did you feel uncomfortable when she started crying?
If I knew why she was crying. She was crying because she emotionally connected to the movie. So if it were a different reason that she was crying, I would feel more uncomfortable.
Okay.
But I'm also kind of used to it by now.
But you knew what to do.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And I tease her a little bit too, which I think kind of cheers her up. It kind of puts a smile on her face.
Cool. Well, teasing during serious things, it's always, J-Mo knows, that's good.
Call her a crybaby.
I'm less likely to share my feelings with you, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's going to slowly shut down.
Yep.
But that's fine. She'll cry less around you. It's fine. It's Father's Day on Sunday, and producer Kenny hit the streets to talk about our dads.
What's something you got from your dad?
Ooh, something from my dad. Everything that glitters ain't always gold.
That's good.
And I took that with me in a lot of life lessons. That things that look like they're good or that they sound good, sometimes not always what they mean.
I've heard that saying before.
Yep.
Do you have an example of how that lesson played out in your life?
Just a little, quick lesson is that I was applying for a vehicle, and the price was right at the time for me, and so I went ahead and applied for it, and they asked for, a upfront payment, and that's what I did, and come to find out, it was too good to be true.
Oh, boy. Yep, there you go. The price is too good. My friend Phil got conned recently with a Facebook Marketplace. He was like, man, it was the best deal ever. He shows up. It was a con. Too good to be true.
Yeah.
And so that thing that my dad told me back then, when everything that glitters is not gold, that hit me. That was a major lesson for me.
No, thank you for sharing that with me.
No problem.
At first, when you said everything that glitters isn't gold, I thought you were going to say something about maybe relationships.
No. He told me to pick my friends and my woman like I pick my fruit at the grocery store.
Try before you buy?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yeah, these guys are having a nice laugh out there. Okay.
Nice to talk to you. Happy Father's Day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. No
Take
problem.
All right, so there you go. There's that guy. Then producer Kenny ran into her.
Is there anything you got from your father?
Maybe like physical appearance.
Okay, yeah, that counts.
I guess that genetics count for something.
Are you happy with the genetics that were passed down?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think?
I think you're an attractive person for sure. Your dad must be a handsome man.
Yes.
All right, well, it's nice talking to you.
All right,
Thank you so much for your time.
Have a good day.
Well, she did ask, Kenny, what you thought.
What was I supposed to say?
If your girlfriend, Allison, if you're listening, you need help packing your boxes to move out. Because I know y'all just moved in. Call your girl. You know my number. I'll help you out, sis.
That is something that Kenny's done. Remember that time he was on the radio talking about a woman that he interviewed, and he said this.
She was very attractive, by the way.
Very commenting.
Yeah.
You know?
What was I supposed to do?
She did ask.
She asked me the question. She was an attractive person. I told her.
What are you supposed to say?
You said the genetics landed well, and that's all you say.
Producer Heather.
No, you run away. You run away, Kenny.
Kenny's still trying to figure these things out. You're happy with your girlfriend, right?
I'm so happy with Allison. She's my life. I love her. She's the most beautiful. Although I will say that the one from that clip that you played, she was more attractive than the one I met the other day.
Whoa.
What? Can you clarify what you're saying?
Well, so that girl who I said was more attractive, by the way, was more attractive than the girl I met on the street the other day.
Good to know.
Yeah.
J-Bo, can you please write that down in our logbook?
Allison is most attractive.
See, you got to put the shovel down.
Oh, man.
You say this stuff, and it's not going to help you.
You bury the hole and then you cover yourself up with dirt.
Kenny, just learn. Wasn't she upset when you said...
She was very attractive, by the way. She was more upset that you just kept on pressing that button
No, I'm
over
sure
there.
she's more upset that you keep saying it yourself.
But you just said that girl was more attractive than
the previous girl.
Yeah, don't
I thought
talk
you wanted
anymore.
to know.
No, we don't.
Nobody even asked. It's like you're just making it harder for yourself. Anyway.
Is there anything you got from your father?
I got this necklace, this gold necklace, when I was born, and I've worn it every single day since. It has an animal's tooth on the inside of it.
Whoa, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's what. Oh wow! What kind of animal?
I have a boar. My brother has a tiger's tooth in it.
What would you rather have, the boar or the tiger?
I don't know. They're both pretty dope.
What do you think, Kenny?
I think tiger is my first instinct, but then I think of the Lion King. The boar in the Lion King was pretty cool.
All right.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you have that, and you wear that to this very day.
Every single day, yes. It's with me for life.
And here's a woman.
Is there anything that you got from your father?
Actually, what I have from my dad, he was in World War II on Normandy Beach.
Wow.
And he survived. He was left for dead there. We have his army jacket.
Wow.
And a lot of memorabilia that he had from that, but a lot of personal memories and love, for sure.
That's cool.
That's super cool.
I think of when I was about, 7 years old, I found a pocket knife from Switzerland in my dad's desk. And I asked him if I could have it. And he said, sure. And that was my first pocket
That's
knife.
awesome.
Yeah, and I still have it. I still use it today.
Love that.
Were there any sayings that he said that you find yourself still using to this day? I know my dad has a ton of them.
Well, something he would say to me is, "I love you, doll." He always would say that. So one day I'm going to get a tattoo of that on me where he always would say that to us.
I love you, doll, and you'll have that memory forever on your
forever.
skin.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
Oh, that's really sweet. This feels good, Kenny.
Yeah.
Good job.
What's something you got from your father?
I don't know. My dad, all he does is like smoke weed and chill. So I guess I learned that from him.
So you picked up on that trait?
Yes.
That was passed down?
Yes. No, it is very much his favorite thing. So, of course, it became one of my favorite things too.
Well, there you go. Something you learned from your father.
Right?
Well, he seems to be happy about it.
Yeah.
He was just like, yo, try the it's cool.
Oh, all right. Well, listen, everyone has their different relationships. And, if that was your situation, obviously we don't have to stay that way. We can choose to change the trajectory
if you
that
want
we're on.
to.
If we want. It's very complicated sometimes when we're thinking about our relationships with our parents, and it's a great time this weekend to celebrate our dads. And, I love my dad. I think he is a very interesting guy. He likes swear words. He likes ice cream. He likes chocolate. He likes candy. And he really cares about his kids and his grandkids, and he loves us all very well. So however you're celebrating this weekend, whether you are celebrating, whether you're not celebrating, or maybe you recently lost your dad. We hope you have an amazing weekend with the people that you love. J-Bo, one of my favorite things is when a bunch of scientists get together and they work really hard on a cool study. And then we don't have to do any of the work. We could just read the results and benefit from it. And this is one of those situations. I think it's so cool and actually really encouraging when social interactions or success can be easier achieved when it's just a very simple change, something super small that we're all capable of doing. And I think this proves it. There are a bunch of scientists at Nottingham Trent University. They did a study, and they found that people who are more facially expressive are more well-liked by others. They're considered more agreeable and extroverted, and even fare better in negotiations. The results point to facial expressivity serving as a social glue that fosters liking, cooperation, and smoother interactions. Third-party observers and actual conversation partners consistently rated more expressive people as more likable.
That's why people like me, because I mean, and usually I'm like, people are like, oh, we like you so much, I don't know what it is about you, and I'm like, whatever. This sounds really arrogant.
Yeah,
I hear you.
No, talk about how awesome you are.
No, yeah,
I
I'm
agree
pretty awesome. I mean, what can I say? People tell me that all the time, but I've always like brushed it off. But when I read that research, I'm like, you know what? Maybe there's some sense of why people are always like, I feel, I gravitated to you. And it's because I have a lot of facial expressions when I talk, when I'm listening, when I'm reacting to something. There's always like a facial expression going on.
Yeah, and you might be onto something, because they suggest that for most people, allowing one's face to mirror your inner states and intentions can invite warmer reactions and reap social rewards. Because there's this mentality that having a poker face is the way to be, right? Especially in like office and business relationships. It's, well, you don't want them to see your cards. Well, what if we're really honest and we just show them how we're feeling towards them? Could that actually get us further along? And it seems, according to this, yes.
You know when it gets you in trouble, though? When you're in a meeting and somebody says something that's annoying and you don't agree with it, and it's all on your face. I tell them myself all the time.
Yeah, well, no, that's true. Expressivity was also linked to being seen as more readable, suggesting that an animated face makes one's intentions and mental states easier for others to decipher. So I guess that could go both ways. A little bit more from the study. It says, our evidence shows that facial expressivity is related to positive social outcomes. It suggests that more expressive people are more successful at attracting social partners and in building relationships. It could also be important in conflict resolution. All this stuff is great. And yeah, if we're all alone and single, and we're like, why doesn't anyone like me? Well, maybe we just look miserable. I mean, are you drawn to somebody who just looks miserable?
I am not.
No.
You have resting you-know-what face.
Well, who knows? Whatever you want to call it. Researchers concluded that being facially expressive is socially advantageous. And now I love a study like this because they just did all the work for us. And what do we have to lose by trying this? Does it help? Does it improve our lives? It's a very low risk thing. Oh, so we got to smile at some people. If we're actually happy with them, we like our friends. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Put a smile on your face. See if it changes things.
Or if you react to a conversation and it's all in your face, and that's okay too. It might feel a little awkward, but after a while, if you keep doing it, it'll feel natural.
The TJ Show is sponsored by Prize Picks. You want to play daily fantasy sports and it just seems so complicated? Well, what about Prize Picks for daily fantasy sports?
Prize Picks is cool because it's just you picking against stat projections, more or less on 2 to 6 player stats, everything from basketball finals. Keep an eye out for star players for boosted payouts, and you can even use esports to add to your entries now.
Yeah, every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your esport lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. PrizePicks.com. Download the app today and use code TJShow for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code TJShow on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details. PrizePicks.com. Have I said it enough?
PrizePicks.com.
You got me.
This episode is brought to you by Twizzlers. Long day, late night, feeling a little bored? Twizzlers is the ultimate sidekick for any moment of the day, no matter what kind of day you're having. The perfect level of sweet and a fun excuse to sit back and relax. Unwind with Twizzlers. To buy now, visit Hersheyland.com/Twizzlers.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
NASA will sometimes live stream the goings-on at the International Space Station so people can tune in at any time and see what the astronauts are doing up in outer space.
Whew, he's floating there, and now he's floating back.
It's amazing how gravity works and how it doesn't.
That's bouncy, J-Bo. Did you see how bouncy that was?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they, I guess, unintentionally freaked some people out yesterday because part of this live stream was a simulation of the astronauts in, quote, an emergency situation out in space. So people watching thought something was wrong.
Like alien emergency or technical emergency?
No, it was more like you had grounds crew member like instructing the astronauts on board of what to do in an emergency, like get the commander back in his suit, check his pulse, give him oxygen.
Oh.
And people are like, oh my God, what's going on up at the International Space Station? It turns out it was just a drill. So like the space station had to go onto Twitter and say there is no emergency situation going on aboard the International Space Station. At approximately 5:28 p.m., audio was aired on the NASA live stream from a simulation audio channel on the ground, indicating a crew member was experiencing effects related to blah, 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 so on and so forth, an emergency situation.
They got to do what the people in my old apartment building used to do when the fire alarm went off. No one moved.
Disregard it.
Yeah, which always felt very unsafe to me. I was the one who was like, guys, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go.
You were the only one, you and your family.
I ran outside, no one's out there. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, it's the fire drill? Yeah, probably someone burned popcorn again. I go, probably. What if it wasn't? So these drills, they get confusing. I understand what they're going through. Candy, what else do you have?
Well, there's a lot riding on Inside Out 2's release this weekend for Pixar and Walt Disney Studios. Now, if you go back to 2019, the release of Toy Story 4, that movie made $1.1 billion.
How about that? I never saw that one.
The next movie, Onward, hit theaters in March of 2020, right at the start of the pandemic, so had some bad luck there. But then you had movies like Soul, Luca, and Turning Red that went straight to Disney+. And the movie Lightyear, which came out in 2022, lost millions of dollars. Elemental, which was the last movie that came out, had the worst opening in the studio's history. So
I like that movie. Elemental's a good movie.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's
I was
good.
curious to know what that was all about. It looked cool, but I haven't seen any of these movies you mentioned.
Well, you're not
Soul.
alone.
I did see Soul.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun.
And that went straight to Disney Plus because during that time it was still the pandemic and Disney was sending everything to streaming. So
yeah, and I also, you and I talk about this all the time. Like when we saw Moana in theaters, it actually brought me to tears just because of how beautiful the presentation was. And I think a part of what makes Pixar so great is experiencing it in the movie theater.
Yeah.
It's made for the theater. Like, of course it's going to do less. I mean, then you're like in the ocean of online content.
Right.
I mean, listen, I don't know what Bob Iger's up to. It seems like he's made a few right choices. Doesn't need my theory on it. But as a fan, that's the first place my mind goes.
Well, they're hoping this one will reach that $100 million opening weekend mark. From what I understand, in advanced ticket sales, it's already beating the original Inside Out. But Pixar apparently has a lot riding on this release.
Love the excellence that Pixar seems to have through all their movies. And the movie theater, that's the place to see it. So let's see how it goes. Kenny, what else do you have?
We were talking about Inside Out 2 a little earlier. I went to go see it last night with my girlfriend. Just so you know, if you happen to see it today or over the weekend, there is a post-credit scene. So stay to the end of the credits.
How Marvel of them.
A payoff there that I do think is fun.
Yeah, I like it when the movie doesn't just end. And I'm like, come on, man, get through the directors.
It's like an encore, like when the band does their last song, walks off stage, and then comes back on. Yeah,
that's right.
You know what else was interesting? In the credits, they had a section for production babies where they listed like 20, 30 names of babies. I'm assuming these were babies that were born during the production of the film from members of the production staff.
That's cool.
I thought that was really neat too. So that's worth it. And the post-credit scene, stay for that.
Excellent. Kenny, what else do you have?
Congratulations to Kevin, the Great Dane. He is now the Guinness World Records holder for the tallest living dog at 3 feet 2 inches.
J-Bo, when you were working in a vet's office, you ever hang around a Great Dane?
Oh yeah, those things are massive.
They are the goofiest. Like they're just so big, and their skin just like it just hangs on them.
They're gentle giants.
Yeah, they almost look like a different animal. but they're a dog,
Yeah,
right?
they're a dog.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's big enough to be a horse.
I know. Yeah, actually.
At least a donkey.
So, yeah, there's a funny story about that. When I was a little boy, I went to my aunt's house, and someone had Great Danes there.
Oh, wow.
And because I was so little, I thought they were miniature horses. And they were like, those are dogs. I'm like, what? It looks like a dog horse. Yeah, that was my perception looking up at it.
I'm sure.
So they measure Kevin from the feet to the withers, which is the base of the neck over the shoulders. He took the record from a Great Dane named Zeus, who passed away last year. He's named for Kevin from the Home Alone movies, although his owners say he doesn't have Kevin's courage. He is a gentle giant, as you said, J-Bo. He's afraid of almost everything.
Oh.
Yeah, most Great Danes are.
If you're going to be that big, like at least act the part. Wait, why don't they measure to the top of his head? They're taking a few inches off?
Ask the Guinness World Records.
That's rude.
That's
Kevin's like, no, I want all of it. Measure all of me.
Okay, well, I guess that's how they do it.
Yeah, that's how it's done. The tallest dog ever was also named Zeus. This one passed away in 2011. He was 3 feet 8 inches tall.
They may have talked about this already, and maybe there's a special about it. Could you mate a Great Dane and a Chihuahua, like through some sort of a scientific experiment?
Yeah, I'm not so sure naturally, but
I don't know if you, I mean,
Would the end result be a normal-sized dog?
I don't think so. No, sir.
Somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, right.
And I would hope that it's the Great Dane that's delivering the babies.
Yeah, right.
Gosh.
Imagine it's like a little Chihuahua Great Dane. That would be so cute.
Yeah, my mind is spinning
No,
right now.
that'd be
Just
horrible.
Trying to comprehend this.
If it's safe for the animals, hopefully someone tries it. All right,
No, don't try it, please.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Well, Tesla shareholders voted yesterday to reinstate Elon Musk, the CEO's pay package of $56 billion. You may remember back in January, a Delaware judge voided that pay package.
So is he getting it?
So there's still a few hurdles. Apparently, this can still be challenged legally, including from the same court in Delaware where it was struck down initially. But all signs are pointing towards yes. And also, they're planning to move the state of incorporation to Texas from Delaware. That was also approved by the shareholders.
That's good to hear because, you know, these billionaires, sometimes they only have like fewer billions.
Yeah, they need more.
And you gotta replenish that. So this is good news for him. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
So happy to welcome Sam in Fort Smith, Arkansas to the show. Hey, Sam. What's up?
I'm good.
How you doing, Sam?
Much here.
Tell me, what is happening in your world today?
Well, you were talking about the movie, and it was...
Oh, yeah, we were talking about Inside Out 2. Our producer, Kenny, went to go see it last night.
Here in Arkansas, you cannot see a movie. If you're under the age of 16, you cannot see a movie by yourself after 9 o'clock. You have to have a parent with you.
Yeah, was that how that was when we were little? I'm trying to think. I feel like my friends, we would go see movies at all crazy times.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember
being
it.
a thing when we were kids.
Now, when I grew up, I had friends who worked in movie theaters, so they'd sneak me in so I could see a movie, late the evening for nothing.
Well, this would be the time to get snuck into a movie because they're expensive, and I'm trying to save money.
No, we got to pay full price. Or the matinee. You go to the matinee,
I
right?
do go to the matinee, yeah.
Tuesdays, they still
Any
have
way to save
matinees.
money.
There's the double feature trick. You go see one movie and then just go see another one while you're still behind the...
That's illegal, Kenny. You don't want to steal.
Okay.
Hey, Sam, tell me, what is the most exciting part of your life right now?
I have to say just being alive.
Being alive?
Walking every morning. Being alive.
Why is that your default answer? Did something happen where you didn't know if you were going to be alive this long?
Well, I have some health issues, and I never know what, every morning, you don't know where you're going, if you get those health issues are going to hit you at night or not.
I'm really sorry to hear that, but I'm so happy to hear that you're doing okay right now.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
That's awesome.
That's good, Sam.
Well, Sam, first of all, I'll be praying for you that things just keep getting better and better. And also, thank you for turning your radio on. We really appreciate you being here with us and spending that time with us.
No problem. You guys have a great day.
Take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate Sam being willing to share that with us. You never know what people are going through.
Yeah, you really don't.
I think about that all the time. First of all, when I get frustrated with other people, like at the coffee line or something, like, she just cut in front of me.
Oh, when someone cuts me off in traffic,
yeah,
I get really upset. And then I'm like, you know what? I hope they get to where they're going to safely.
Yes, an inspiration to all of us, J-Bo. Thank you for that. But it's true. It's really hard sometimes, and you just don't know what people are going through. And then also the other thing that I really appreciate that someone is willing to share something they're going through like that, because it does make me think now as I'm going through the course of my day, even if things are frustrating or weird, or maybe I'm getting all bent out of shape because my kids are running around and pushing each other into walls, like I am happy that I get to live this day and see what this day has for me. And sometimes that can just change your whole mood right away. It's definitely snapped me out of a bad mood.
Yeah, definitely. Perspective helps a lot. And having, as we learned this week, we talked about having optimistic attitude and how that can shape your view in your life, and even how it can affect you in a positive way when it comes to your health.
Was it yesterday we started the show and I was like, hey, we've got some built-in success in this day already. We're all alive if we can hear this.
Definitely.
And Jabo, you also shed some light on that. You said there were days you woke up and you weren't happy that you woke up.
No, I would wake up and be like, oh, are you kidding me? You know, like I wasn't happy to be alive. And thankfully, here we are years later where I'm like, oh man, I'm so happy that God didn't take me then, because I get to see so many amazing things now that I'm alive. So there's hope in that. There's hope.
Yeah, well, also just great to hear your story, because you're one of the most joy-filled people that I know.
Yeah.
And to think that you weren't there is even surprising to me, but you never know someone's story. Right. You just don't know what people are going through. Even a Jabo, who is so happy and like, you know, laughing all the time and the life of the party, you don't know. You don't know. And so it's a reason for grace, right?